I've never given much thought to my bucket list, but now that I've reached the ripe old age of 24, it might be time to start. Growing up a child of a single parent, we never had extra money. My mother always made sure I had food, school clothes, and a roof over my head. To be honest, I never realized how precious those things were until they were all taken away from me. Losing my wonderful mother when I was only 11 years old changed my life in ways I can barely begin to explain. Today, I'm going to start taking back some of the things I thought were lost forever, starting with October 31st. My mother and I loved Halloween. She always made my costumes by hand and took me door to door trick-or-treating in our neighborhood. All Hallows' Eve seemed so magical. All I had to do was smile, utter the magic words trick-or-treat, and a few hours later, I marched home with a pillowcase full of candy and a smile from east to west. The sweets were great, but my favorite part was bedtime. Coraline Moon used to tell me ghost stories as I fell asleep. The belly full of candy and the resulting sugar high usually kept me up longer than her. The stories were never too scary, just spooky enough. One of my favorites was a convoluted tale she wove about an enormous haunted house that seemed alive. In the months between magical mischief nights, I would question her ceaselessly about the details of this house. The way she described it made the tale come to life in my young mind, and I felt certain it really existed somewhere in the world. Guess what? Now it does. Using one of my special psychic abilities, I recalled several of these memories from childhood. As I relived her terrific tales, I made meticulous notes. The Duncan Moon Philanthropic Foundation will host an enormous haunted house this Halloween. All proceeds and donations will be used to fund groundskeeping at the Queen of Heaven Pet Cemetery and to cover operational expenditures at the local no-kill animal shelter. I chose the gargantuan Barnes estate for the site of my venture. The mansion is available for charitable events due to some unfortunate circumstances in their family, but that's another story. Cut to parking my Jeep in front of the transformed mansion. I clap my hands together and squeal with delight. Spooky scarecrows line the drive, and they've affixed a tattered wooden gate to the normally imposing iron. A huge sign warning visitors to beware looms overhead. I step through the gate and gasp. There must be 100 carved pumpkins edging the path and spilling from the porch. Muslin ghosts float beneath the bare branches of several trees. Motorized bats zip back and forth along monofilament lines, while spooky sounds echo from speakers hidden amongst the decor. Just when I think I've seen it all, my gaze falls on a face with glowing eyes peering from an upstairs window, and chains rattle from the depths of the home. I'm blown away, and this is all before I make it through the front door. As I walk up the steps, the doorman opens the large entrance and I grin. Hello, Clyde. Everything looks amazing. Did you have anything to do with this? The gentle giant is a remnant from the home's glory days and continues to serve as one of 2 permanent staff at the estate. He smiles, but embarrassment causes him to stare at the ground. It's okay to take credit for doing an amazing job. He gazes up at me, and his large, soft eyes spill over with gratitude. Thank you, Miss Moon. I like helping. Before I can coerce him to elaborate on what he specifically enjoyed, his mother, Mrs. Charles, the caretaker of the charitable estate, appears from nowhere and ushers me inside. Good day, Miss Moon. I hope the preparations meet with your satisfaction. It's stunning so far. What else do you have to show me? This way, please. As you know, the upper floors of the manor will be off-limits to guests, but I'll guide you around the ground floor. They have designed each room as a separate experience. The Hall of Portraits, as the first room is called, houses various spooky paintings with eyes that follow you across the room. Plus, some of the images transform into vaporous holographic ghosts that float through the air overhead. Clearly, no expense has been spared on special effects.